Your brother,
Man.
Pams.
Yo, I don't know where he is, you know.
Right, boys, we're live, man. So quickly, I go by the name of Saint Aldino. I'm an Arsenal fan, and I'm your host tonight. So, Modu, can you quickly just give us an introduction and who you support?
Yep. Man United fan here. Pams or Modu. You cut me. It's Man United red that comes out. You already know. Come on.
Yeah, and then Moz.
Come on, it's the number one Chelsea fan here, number one Arsenal hater here. So, go by the name Molamin, aka Mus. I'm out here. I'm watching Arsenal, and yeah, man, I'm watching Chelsea as well. So,
Happy days. We're watching you as well. So Alka.
Well, it's Alka. Everybody knows, isn't it? The SJ Sport chairman or the CEO you can call. But yeah, I'm happy to be back. So
Yeah.
Yeah, nice one, guys. Nice one. So quickly, I just wanted to start off with the Champions League roundup with the English teams that were involved this week. So we saw Newcastle host PSG. What did you guys think about that game, Modu?
Yeah. I think they host Dortmund.
is it Dortmund? Yeah.
Dortmund. Yeah.
Yeah. So, bro, like going into the game, I honestly thought they were gonna do what they did to PSG to Dortmund, but Dortmund are a bowling side, man. They've been in they can bowl, so they've been in the Champions League. They got the experience, and I watched the game. They actually Newcastle should have scored 100%, but this is just a reality check for them to calm down. Like this is Champions League, so I think Dortmund deserve the victory. But the group is tough. Newcastle can still qualify, so
Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, this is Champions League. If you don't take your chances, you're gonna get punished. You make a mistake, you get punished. So yeah.
And Isaac is injured as well. Isaac is injured, by the way.
Injured, yeah. So how did you see the game?
Well, for this year, I'm just basically I'm taking a leave from Champions League, innit? So I didn't actually watch the game.
Yeah.
But I saw the highlights really, and I just think for Newcastle, it's that lack of experience in it. But I think they will get out of the group. Yeah, man, maybe round of 16, quarterfinals at the very most. But yeah, I don't see them really being a threat.
And they've lost Tonali as well due to the ban, so their depth in that department. I mean, they got Joe Willock coming back from injury as well, so I don't know. Would you say their depth has dropped a little bit by losing him?
They've got a good manager though. I rate Eddie Howe. I think he'll find some solutions there. And what surprised me about them is that they've got players like Longstaff, that Sean Longstaff and the mighty Longstaff, that would just be, they come in and they're balling out really. And I don't think Tonali would be that big a mess, if I'm being honest. I think because they were doing their job before and they will continue to do after. So, but a whole season, Tonali gone, it's crazy. They should get their money back if they can.
Yeah. So, Alka, what did you think of the game?
Yeah, yesterday I was out a bit, but I was watching the game like on and off on my phone, so I was not focusing. But when I was watching the game, it looks like the game was 50-50 in it. Both teams have chances and all that. But Newcastle, they couldn't take their chances. And I was saying, if they don't take their chances, this Dortmund team, although they got like young players, but they got experience of Champions League. So, they've been there. So I was like, if they don't take their chances, Newcastle, Dortmund get one and score. And the same thing that I was watching this game as well. Bayern, that's what happened. Galatasaray didn't take their chances and they end up, paying the price. So, and then Newcastle, when I watched their game against Paris, they smoked Paris and they beat Paris very heavily. Everybody was like, the media, it was like, Newcastle, they have a chance to win the Champions League, this. I was like, bro, you don't play Paris Saint-Germain, man. Calm yourself down, man. But like what Pam said, they needed this to be like humble a bit. But yeah, I think they might go out, but I don't see them going far anyway.
You know what they were doing as well? Sorry to cut you off here. You see, like every tackle, they would just turn into the crowd like, yeah. But for me, they were getting too excited because every tackle they were turning to the fans and celebrating. But Dortmund, they just stayed calm. Dortmund are like, all right, cool,
Yeah.
you can do that.
And what I got from the PSG game as well against Newcastle, PSG didn't really have a balanced team. If you saw, they played 4 attackers and 2 midfielders in there, whereas Newcastle had 3 in the middle. So I think that's where the battle was won. And I didn't really see Mbappe doing a lot of tracking back or Dembele, and then you had the guy up top, Moani and Ramos. I didn't see them getting back either, helping out in the defense, in the midfield. So I think that played a big part in that. I think Enrique was quite
Arrogant, innit?
Arrogant in that. Yeah, I think he thought he was going to come and just smoke them and get as many goals and get the 3 points and secure. But Newcastle, mate, on a weekday, it's raining, it's cold, and we all know their stadium, they stick all the fans in the heavens, and their fans are closer down the pitch, so they got more interaction with the game, whereas your fans, you can't even hear them. So I think that really did play a big part in that scoreline. But I think when they go to Paris, it will be a different game.
Yeah.
But yeah, so moving on to the Man United Copenhagen game, Modu, I'll start with you. As a Man United fan, what did you get from that game, and what did you make of your team's performance?
Heartbreak.
Bro, I was watching the first half, even the referee had enough. He blew the whistle at like 44 minutes, 30 seconds for halftime. Like the ref didn't even wait till the 45th minute. So he blew it was so rubbish. The first half was so rubbish, man. Like sideways passing. Nothing was happening. And then halftime came now. Ten Hag brought on what's his name? Eriksen for Amrabat. Right? And as soon as Eriksen came on, the game just changed. This guy was just pulling the strings. So it should have been 3-4-0 because Garnacho had 2 one-on-ones. He messed it up. Rashford had 1 one-on-one. He messed it up as well. But oh my God, big up Harry Maguire, by the way. Big up Harry Maguire, man. And this is what I mean. When I see people talk about Jadon Sancho, he don't have to apologize. Harry Maguire got the captain armband taken off him. Yeah. The manager basically told him, look, I don't want you. Like the club agreed a fee. We agreed a fee with West Ham for him to go. But the move didn't materialize. He kept his head down. He kept training, scored a goal, and then Andre Onana as well. I just want to say one thing. You see David De Gea, great keeper, not a very good penalty saver. So Onana did his thing, last minute penalty. That was like a goal, man. So I'm not gonna lie, because of the whole Sir Bobby Charlton thing that happened as well. And then last minute, man, it's so United. It's just so much drama. It was so unnecessary, but we won. We won.
When you watch United, aren't you just worried that with these like heart attack performances, it's just a matter of time until it catches up to you? Like, I just don't. For me, anyway, when I watch United, it's just it doesn't matter who you play. You just never nothing is ever easy. United is never cruising to a 2-3-0 win, and then you just sit back, put your feet up, and just like watch the rest of the game. So
100%. Now 100%. Like, of course you're worried because like it's not sustainable. But at the end of the day, we have to be realistic. The whole back four ain't there. Our defenders that played last season, the first choice defenders, ain't there. And sometimes we're playing Evans and Maguire. They can't punch the ball through the lines. That's what Martinez is so important to this team. Like, he starts the attack. Man. So basically, I have to be realistic. Aaron Bissaka, we're missing him, even though Dalot's doing well. We're missing Luke Shaw. We're missing a left back, man, like a natural left back. Reguilon played, but he wasn't even fit to finish the game. And then for me, you lot are gonna see there's a kid called Kobe Mainoo. As soon as he comes back, he's coming in the middle, straight up. He's coming in.
That leads me to my next question, man. As a Man United fan, I understand you've got loads of injuries and your first team players missing. Yeah. But when you're watching Erik ten Hag team, can you see a style in the pattern of play? Can you see, right, we're committing 5 or 6 players when we're attacking. We've got 2 holding midfielders who are double pivoting, and then we've got 2, maybe 3 defenders who are sitting back ready for any counter attack. Do you see that sort of like progression football from defense to attack with the creative midfielders you've got in your team?
So yeah, so basically, to answer your question, have I seen it this season? Sometimes, but I saw it last season. I know that this guy has a pattern of play, but this is the thing. I had to think about it deeply and ask this question myself. With these group of players, yeah, which manager was able to implement their style? I can only think of one.
Yeah.
And that's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And that's not really a style. That's literally sit back and counter attack. I've not seen manager at Man United, apart from Louis van Gaal, yeah? Apart from Louis van Gaal, even Mourinho was frustrated. They couldn't even... Mourinho's football doesn't even take a lot. It's literally defend and counter. But I can't think of a manager that actually got to these players. So for me, Ten Hag has made 7 signings. He needs to make at least 15 to 20 signings before I can judge him. We need to just stick with him. There's no point switching managers. But to stick to the question, the style of play, have I seen it this season? No, I haven't. And obviously injuries contribute to that.
Happy. So, Alka, what did you think of the Man United?
You know what,
Silly,
just because of we're going to do the Manchester derby, and I'm sure we're going to talk about this Manchester United team a lot. I'm just going to make it quickly and then just have to move on in it. Yeah, I didn't watch the game on when was it, on Tuesday, because it was the same time as my team. So you all know that I'm probably gonna watch my team more than watching United. So I was not focused on their game a lot. But from what I see, it's like it's the same United and the same performance. Nothing is improving at the moment. So I was just gonna say, like, I expect them to win that game, because if they didn't win, then they'll probably to say goodbye to the Champions League. But luckily they end up like getting a good goal where, and then winning the game, which is important. At this point of United, 3 points matters. So I would say that that's a good 3 points collection. So yeah, that's all I have to say. I'll say more when we move on to the Manchester derby. But right now, just to keep it moving.
Happy. Welcome, Albojang. Can you just give us a quick introduction of who you are and who you support?
Thank you, Seni. Thanks everyone that is online. And hello to all our listeners as well. Yeah, I'm Albojang and I support Man City. So
we're on the topic of the Man United game against Copenhagen. As a Manchester City fan, what did you make of that game?
I think they were just lucky, because if you look at the caliber and the amount of players that Manchester United have compared to Copenhagen, and watching that game, seeing Copenhagen pressing them, Copenhagen were just unlucky. That penalty, if Gacho didn't go out there and behave like my 2-year-old nephew, even my nephew who plays wouldn't behave in such a manner. But then again, it's football. So I guess the VAR should have spotted that and brought it to the attention of the refs. Yeah. But it didn't happen as well. So it is what it is. But Man United, personally, I would say Man United were just lucky.
Yeah, I saw a lot in that game, whereas Man United had a lot of chances they didn't take. And being in the Champions League is the most elite competition apart from the World Cup. So I think as a team, when you have a chance, you have to make it count. You have to take it, because you don't know the other team, no matter how small they are, no matter what league they're in, they go down the other end, and guess what? They'll take their chances. And we saw in that penalty, it nearly happened. They nearly took their chance, but Onana obviously came out and saved Man United and did his job. What did you guys make of, from what I saw, Garnacho was scoffing the penalty spot before the kick was taken? Do you think that's a very good sportsmanship, and something should be done to punish players if they're doing something like that, because you're putting the opposition at a disadvantage before the penalty is taken? What do you think?
No, I don't think so, because it's one of those things there. Look, we all want to be like good sportsmanship and like do things the right way. But if it's for your team, you would want them to do whatever to get the win. That's just maybe that's just the person I am. So if there was a penalty considered against my team and someone did that and the penalty gets saved, I wouldn't care. So
okay, let me just pause you there for a sec. If you look at goalkeepers, they're told to stay on the line until the spot kicker is actually taking the shot. So in that sense, when the goalkeeper moves out even half a centimeter off the line, the penalty is retaken. Do you think that's a fair comparison for someone to go and scuff it and make the spot maybe indented and then affect the way you take that penalty?
No, because the goalkeepers one, I think that's just the rules really, and they're a lot stricter on the goalkeepers. I think I don't know why, because obviously everyone wants to see goals. So, but if the referee don't stop it, then fine. Like I have the same thing. Yeah, it's like for me, like in the 2010 World Cup when Suarez did the handball, and yes, he got sent off, and people were against him. But if that was for my team, I would be celebrating, and that's just me. I'm just being honest. Like, so he scuffed it, the penalty got saved, and he moved on. If it was the other way around, I would want one of my players to actually do something to get you do whatever to get the advantage, and you could say it's unsportsmanlike, but if you only care about the W, that's
hey, for me, that Garnacho is a winner. He's a born winner, and you know what? This is the reason why Argentinians, they're winners, because they will do whatever it takes to win. It's simple. Just
I think it's a South American thing as well. Like,
the thing is for me, right? If there's a spot kick,
sorry, love, I'm in a meeting.
And you're here attempting to disadvantage.
I'm coming now. I'm just finishing.
The spot. It shouldn't be like that, because
I got you.
If for example, an opposition player did that, let's say the goalkeeper, he stepped out 2 yards in front of the line, it's putting the spot kicker in a disadvantage. So it's not really a fair sort of like thing to do. If just let the keeper do his job. If he saves it, he saves it. You move on. If you get what I mean.
I got you. But if the ref is not, or if it's not in the rules, why not do it? Why not break it till they make it the rules? Like we you know what I mean? It's about 3 points.
That's fair. So we'll move on to Al. Al, what did you think about that?
Certainly, then again, it's football. So I think football is a game whereby if you have to sometimes have high IQ ahead of your opponents, and my man had to do what he had to do to get his points, to get his team to win. As long as it's not in the rules and there's no rules within FIFA that says you can't do it, then why not? We've seen footballers cheating, we've seen footballers diving, and all that to win penalties. And some people, like my man rightly said, Suarez won that game for Ghana in 2010. That was a goal. And if I bet if you ask Suarez any day whether he has to do it again, he will tell you yes. Likewise, any other player. So then again, it's football. So sometimes the ref can't see everything. You still have to try and outsmart the referee. It's not a game that we all turn around and say, "Oh, it's just fair. I'm gonna play fairly." Without you look at most of the players. How many players in this generation of footballers will not cheat to get their teams a victory? Go on the days of Gary Lineker when they play.
What I understand from what you're saying is your stance in this case is cheat if there's no rules.
If it's gonna get you the points, that's what matters. The media will talk about it. The media will talk about it for 1 day or 2 days, and that's it. It's like fish and chips.
Fair enough. We'll swiftly move on to Alka. Alka, what did you think about that situation with the Garnacho incident, scoffing the penalty spot before the kick was taken?
Yeah, I saw that after the game. Okay, like I said, I didn't watch the game fully, but I saw the highlights on it. I think it was lucky. I think that with that they can give you a yellow card. Luckily, they might even give you a red card for that if you're not lucky. But luckily, the referee didn't say something like he was maybe busy for checking out the VAR and all this. So you can get away with it sometimes, but all I can say, he was lucky.
Happy. So
if that was Arsenal, I just have a question. If Arsenal considered a 90th minute penalty,
why would you use Arsenal as an example?
No, because
you're Arsenal fan. Give the same opinion for Arsenal.
Yeah. I just want to know if you keep the same energy. Because if Arsenal considered a 90th minute penalty and say Declan Rice went and scoffed the penalty and then the other team missed the penalty, would you still be saying that it's wrong what he did?
Well, 1 minute. What I want to say is,
what I'm going to say,
it happened to Arsenal last season and the player get booked. So what I'm saying is,
no. But it's not about whether the player got booked. It's about, are you still going to be saying that it's wrong?
Yeah,
that's all I want to know.
As a fan,
yeah,
when you have your 3
that's the rules.
points,
I'm talking about the rules. I'm not talking about as a fan. As a fan, I'll be happy. But the rules, if you do that, it's a yellow card or it's a red card.
As a fan, what matters to you?
I'll be happy.
Once you get that 3 points, you're not going to revisit that. But the fact of the matter is, when you're playing sports, you have to just play fair and give both opponents the same leveling ground to go on and play a fair game and win the game or not.
Not the game of football. Maybe rugby, not the game of football.
Yeah. Anyways, we'll move on to Fax, who's a Man United fan. How did you see the game and what did you think of that incident with Garnacho scoffing the spot?
Me, I did not say anything. I did not even see what Garnacho did, to be honest with you, because, I was fuming where I was sitting because I was upset. I was very angry with the referee because that was, for me, it was too easy to give a penalty at that time and the time of the game. And then that this team, their life towards that tournament lies on that game. Their progress lies on that game. Sometimes referees, they do certain things that can cost us 2 years of, nonsense. So I did not even pay attention. All that came to my mind was I just wanted to bring the referee towards me and then give him something very nice. I was very, 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 very unhappy about the decision. And then that made me blind. And then I couldn't see anything. All I just was watching, my heart was pumping, bim, 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 until the time I saw Onana save that penalty and I jumped, and then that's all for me. To be honest, I did not see what Garnacho. I did not see I did not see what Garnacho did. No, I did not even. I was not even bored at all because, as I said, I was upset. I couldn't see. When you are upset, sometimes you are blind. But when it comes to football, cheating is allowed when there's no rule to say stop it. Remember, Maradona become a superstar by cheating, and then England is still crying about that. And then his goal stands, and then he gave victory for his country, and then everybody is celebrating him. So the rules were not there to say Maradona do it.
France to World Cup.
Anybody remember Henry? That Henry goal in France.
That's why I said the hand of Henry to France to the World Cup.
Yeah. So exactly. So when there is no law that is to say stop it. It's good to be having that ethics of sportsmanship. You understand? But fair play is very important. It's very vital. But sometimes players will do anything for the interest of their team. And just like you, when you as an individual, the law says don't beat such a cat. But if you see such a cat in your house, sometimes you want to beat that such a cat, not because there is something, but you will do it to protect what belongs to you or your interests. So that's how things are. And then 3 points.
Yeah, Phil,
and I don't want to hear anyone to say, I don't want anyone to tell me it's a lucky win. 3 points.
Yeah, I hear your point, and we'll swiftly move on to the Man City game. I'll start with you as a Man City supporter. The performance.
Sorry, can you start with Facts 1 sec, and I'll just join you back 1 sec, please.
Happiness. All right, cool. We move on to Facts. What did you think of that game against Young Boys, Man City versus Young Boys?
To be honest, I watched that game. I was very disappointed in Man City's performance. I even sent a message in this group. I said Man City is never the same as it used to be last season and season before that. Young Boys, they tried, they did their best, they made Manchester City to crawl. You understand? But sometimes, as I put things, always, the people who control the game sometimes mess up the game. that penalty killed the young boys. And apart from that, the game was 50-50 to me. But based on experience as well, Man City came up. Their changes, substitutions always work out for them. And then they made history. That's it. But I gave credit to young boys for, putting Man City to go through that difficult moment yesterday.
Happy days. So Albojang, what did you take from that performance yesterday?
I think it was in a poor one, considering the fact that we have a derby game ahead of us, and also to give some players different timings, and not only that, but to try other formation and other players in different positions. And I guess that's what Pep Guardiola had to do. And yes, we young boys with football now, you can't underestimate any team. But it was right that he rests some of the players that we know that it's highly likely that they are going to start in the next game against Manchester United, which the fans are more or less looking forward to, because with young boys, the chances of us qualifying was already high.
Yeah.
So you might ask, why will you want to use all your best guns and right when you have a tough battle ahead of you? So you might as well save some of your ammunition for the next game, and that's what Pep had to do.
Copy.
Modu,
what did you think about the performance yesterday of Man City?
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't really watch the game, but I saw the highlights.
Yeah.
For me, the only thing I took from the game is that Haaland is back scoring goals, and that's not a good thing. So, I mean, the performance. I'm not really watching Man City's performance right now, because I know once few players come back and once they start progressing, they're gonna get better. So I don't really care about their performance, because I know we know Man City. We know that when push gets to shove, they start to perform. But am I scared of them? No, I'm not scared of them. But yeah.
Do you know what gets me as a football fan is a lot of people allude to Man City having the experience. They've done it before. They'll go on a crazy run, blah, blah, blah. Other teams don't have that experience. They don't have crazy runs. For me, I see it as they've got a squad, where one comes in, one goes out, one comes in, and the level doesn't drop off that far.
100%.
This helps them so much in the sense that it doesn't matter what part of the season it is. Yeah. Once they lose players to injuries, the next person who comes in, he's gonna kick on, whether or not he's been playing for the first half of the season or not. That's the main difference with that team compared to Arsenal, to Chelsea, to Tottenham, to Liverpool. The drop off isn't far whatsoever. They've got two world-class players in every single position, so they can afford to go into the latter part of the season where most teams, their players are tiring and they've been playing game in, week out, and they're suffering injuries in key positions. And I think that's ultimately what wins them silverwares, the silverware they win during the end of the season, the business part of the season. Whereas,
for example, but for me, there's only one player that they can't replicate, and that's De Bruyne. And I'll say Gundogan, but Gundogan's not there no more. I think De Bruyne is the only, it's one of the few unique players that when he comes back, you're gonna see they're gonna even go up a level. So I think that's affecting them right now.
Yeah, that's very true. But then we've seen De Bruyne get injured, and Alvarez have come into that 10th position, and he's scoring for them week in, week out. So it's almost like they don't miss him. It's almost like they don't miss him, but we know one of the key ingredients in that spine of that team is missing in De Bruyne. We can appreciate that. Muz, what did you think about Man City's performance last night?
I watched the highlights. I think for me with City, when I watched them, part of me, I don't know. I just can't put my finger on it, but I don't think they're the same team as last year, and I don't know whether that's because they lost Gundogan, who are really great, and I think that's, for me, I don't think people are talking about that enough, because he's the one player there that always seems to turn up in the business end of the season. When it gets to January, Gundogan just turns into a beast. I know they've got other players that does it, but even players like Mahrez as well, who would chip in there in those one-off games, and then Mahrez just does something that, is like you'd be thinking, where did this come from? They got players like Doku and Grealish. For me, Doku he has the potential to be, but I don't think he's as good as Mahrez, and I don't think Grealish is as good as Mahrez either. So I don't know. They're still very dangerous. It's still City for me. They're the favourites, but there seems to be something missing, maybe that's because De Bruyne is injured and he's not there right now. And Haaland, if no one's feeding him, he doesn't really offer much. But right now, City.
When you say no one feeds him, I don't understand. He's still the leading goal scorer in England. He's still the leading goal scorer in the Champions League. Look, it's not going to be all easy like before. Teams always study their opponents, and teams always double up their efforts when it comes to Man City. If you look at a lot of focus is being put on Haaland by all the teams, so that makes life easier for Alvarez to bang in the goals, which is working for us at the end of the day. But that's
don't get me wrong. I think Haaland is as a number 9, he's probably one of the best I've ever seen since Ronaldo, and I mean the R9 Ronaldo. But he's just a number 9, and maybe there's nothing wrong with that. But he needs a very good number 10, and without De Bruyne there, I just don't think there's anyone in that City team that can find his runs, and that's probably why his goals have dried out a little bit. Haaland is not going to do a Harry Kane and drop back in or try to make something happen. Probably someone that's just going to stick around and just wait for the ball to come. So without De Bruyne in that team, I don't think he would score as many goals as last year. He'll definitely get some, but I don't think it'll be a lot. And would that be enough to push City through? You know what? Probably, because you'll have other players to chip in. But I still feel like there's something missing in Man City.
You make a really good point in the sense that you mentioned Haaland dropping. I think when he drops into that midfield, it gives defenders and midfielders enough time to recover. As we saw in that Arsenal game, when he was dropping to receive the ball and to link up play, he gave Saliba and Gabriel enough time and space to recover, or even foul him if they need to foul him, before he gets into a position where he can offer to create a chance or even to take a shot. But we'll move on to Alka and see what he thinks about the game.
Yeah, I feel like we're still like, what can I say? We're still staying on the topic too long. But anyway, I'll just do it quickly, and then, with City, like you guys mentioned, City, for me, they're always gonna be City, So yes, the Champions League game, maybe I didn't watch the game, so I cannot say much as well. But the result was very good. 3-1 away from home. It's a good, and they got 9 points from now. So I feel like come on, let's be honest. The group they have as well is not as difficult. So they're always gonna play like with second year or third year, and they will still able to top that group and maybe collect more points. So performance does not worry me too much on this City team. I predicted them to win the league, so I'm still sticking by it. I think they'll win the league anyway. But
the guys who are in the Champions League, can I just ask who are your favorites to win the Champions League?
Champions League. For me, I'm struggling, but right now sticking to City and second Real Madrid.
Yeah, the thing is, we know City and Real Madrid, when it gets to the latter part of the competition, they just come alive. They do all needs necessary to win games and get to that final. But I think PSG will go far. Bayern will go far, even though they're not playing well. And maybe Barcelona and Arsenal. I think that's what I'm thinking anyway. But like we said, it's the Champions League. Last
for me, the Champions League. I'm worried. I'm worried like only Man City and Real Madrid. Apart from Man City and Real Madrid, the rest I'm not losing sleep for them, man.
Yeah, but I think no one thought the Milan teams were going to get to where they got to. This is whatever team that gets to this competition, they deserve their place, and respectfully, they can't be taken for granted or underestimated at all.
Yeah, no, I'm not taking it for granted, but they're just not good. They're not good enough. Teams that I'm looking at the Champions right now, it's not much teams that are good enough, to be honest.
Yeah, but the Champions League don't work like that. It's not about how they look now. Like, it's about how you perform over the 2 legs. So for me, anyway,
that's my opinion. Anyway, I don't see most of these teams.
Yeah, like, for me, I think it's City, Real Madrid, and I also like Atletico Madrid. They're playing like some of the best football they have in years. So I think Atletico Madrid, watch out for them as well. But I just want to say one last thing on the City thing. Everyone's talking about players, yeah. But for me, we got to look at the whole like landscape with a bird's eye view. It's all about Pep, because remember, Pep has been changing this team whenever he wishes. So he went from Sterling era, which is more like a, like cut the ball back in, and Sterling was scoring like 30 goals a season. Now he's got a striker that's just a number 9. He's got Alvarez that can play 10 and score goals. And he's got Doku now, who is a direct winger. So I think it's just taking time here, but he's changing this team again. And he will change it again, and it will work. Because think about it. If City wanted Gundogan to stay, he could have stayed, because they offered him a year. Gundogan wanted 2 years. Come on, they could have offered him 2 years. But Pep, I reckon, wanted to move on. Even Mahrez, he was benching Mahrez so many times like last season. So I think Pep is changing the team again and bringing Doku in. He wants to go direct more again. He wants to be more ruthless in front of goal. So if
Pep wins the Champions League again, or maybe one more Premier, we have to have a conversation about where he sits in the whole Wenger Sir Alex Ferguson debate. Because for me,
ahead of them.
No. Because for me, right now, and this is just as neutral, he's probably on level with Wenger, maybe just a little bit. But if he wins another one, he's definitely above Wenger for me. And I know you Arsenal fans are not going to like that.
The thing is, we can't really compare, because football, where it was back then and where it is now, is totally different, in a sense that you've got more things that help you assess and analyze players individually and collectively, if you know what I mean. Back then, we didn't have that. And football was harder in the sense that more things were allowed to happen in a football match. Like, the physicality of the game was a lot more than it is now. Stature of players were far greater than they are now.
Yeah, but
sorry, go ahead.
What I want to say is, I understand all what you're saying, but to be honest, I love Wenger. Yeah, but to be honest, Pep Guardiola is miles ahead.
Thank you. You know what, Alka?
I like
Alka. This is the first time I'm actually.
Pep Guardiola.
Yeah.
I wish to have Pep Guardiola at Arsenal. Let's be honest. Wenger's time at Arsenal, he spent 22 years at Arsenal, First 10 years was great, but for the past 12 years was rubbish. Honestly.
Alka, let me tell you one thing. I don't disagree with that idea or that opinion of yours. But what I'm saying is, with Wenger, he only had one team that was basically.
I understand.
Class.
Challenge. Yeah.
Whereas Pep, he's gone from he's inherited Barcelona team that was good, and then he took it to another level. He inherited a team at Bayern that was good, went another level. Inherited a team at Man City that was good, took it another level. Wenger never had that chance to prove himself. He had that one invincible team, which he did great things with, which he put together. But after that, the owners never gave him the facilities. They never gave him the money to go out and get. I remember one summer window, we only bought Petr Cech for £3 million, and we needed to go out and get one striker, add it onto what we already had. And
I have a question for Arsenal fans. I have a question for you, Arsenal fans. If Pep has his best team and Wenger has his best team, who do you think comes out on top? I know.
You know what they're going to say.
Technically, Pep will come out on top, because he's too creative. The way he sees the game is very, very different. He started all this inverting of left back or right backs, and having, 2 number 8s.
You know what?
Seni,
I think Seni. Sorry, before you go,
definitely will.
Seni. I think you need to leave this topic for the Manchester derby. Then we can talk about more about Pep.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just say a final word before we leave this topic. Comparing Pep Guardiola's best team and thinking, what's his name again?
Wenger.
As in Wenger's team. Wenger is a good manager. Wenger, you never know what formation he's going to come up with. And honestly, with the quality of players he had as compared to now, it's not going to be an easy ride for Pep Guardiola, neither for Arsene Wenger. It can go anyway because Wenger had a team, a midfielder who was one of the best holding midfielders in the world. That was Patrick Vieira. He had Dennis Beckham, who is one of the most creative players ever in football.
Gilberto
Silva and others. So to turn around and say it's not both teams in their prime, honestly, the game can go.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard. Yeah.
My only thing is here, or just on the last one. I know you said the last one here. We cannot continue to. How long are we going to keep Wenger in this top 3 goal debate for? And like, because if Pep is doing it now, we have to have the conversation. You can't just be like Wenger is untouchable, and then while the same time Pep is doing stuff that Wenger never touched. You could say there's circumstances and all of that stuff. We would have never known. Maybe if Wenger got back in,
because both of them
the
have
situation is the situation.
Their time.
Right, yeah, we'll just move on because if we stay on this topic, we'll just keep going on. We'll move on. So the final English game, English team that was involved in the Champions League, Arsenal, obviously. We went away to Sevilla, which we all know is a hard ground to go and play, and we came out on top 2-1. It wasn't the easiest of rides because we had to hang in there in the last 20 minutes or so. I'll start with Alka. Alka, as an Arsenal fan, what did you make of that game and the performance of the team?
Yeah, it was a better performance than Chelsea one. So, like I said, after the game on Sunday, I said we needed performance against Sevilla. I know Sevilla is going to be hard. You know, I was talking to, Pams off camera. I was saying to him, I wouldn't mind taking a draw. It's a tough game away from home, but we need to win or draw. We cannot lose, and I want to see performance. But the first half was good. I think Sevilla didn't create much until towards the last 15, 20 minutes, and they start putting pressure on Arsenal, which you expect. Because when you're leading a team 2-1 away from home, they're gonna come out full force. Especially if they get if it's 2-1, they're gonna feel like they can get a goal and equalize and draw the game or something. So we all expect that they're gonna put pressure on Arsenal towards the end. But it was a good defending run, and our keeper nearly gave away the goal. But apart from that, I'm really happy with the performance. But I'm expecting a lot better performance in the future. So it was a good win.
We'll move on to Muz, and as an Arsenal hater, as you describe yourself, seeing that performance and compared to what happened at Stamford Bridge, what did you make of the game?
I expected Arsenal to come through and beat Seville, because one thing about Seville is that they don't do well in the Champions League. They always go down to the Europa League and do their job. I mean, right now, I expect Arsenal to get through their group. You are playing good football and you are a good team right now. My question with Arsenal always, for me, comes down to the mentality and the bottle, because you haven't been there before. And I know for a fact, because I was in your position at one point, in the Champions League. We get to a position, always semi-finals, finals, and then we bottled it. And I know what that is like, to be with a bunch of players who've never been there. The nerves will just get to you, and I just don't think you will be able to deal with it.
That's a fair analysis. Good. That's a fair analysis. But like I said earlier, in terms of mentality, or you haven't been there before, or you bottled
mentality will come.
It all comes to the fact that when you haven't got that squad, as soon as your first 11, you lose key players. It disrupts the whole fluidity of the team and performance of the team. If, for instance, right, we get to the latter stages, we're in the knockout stages, we lose Declan Rice, we lose Saka or Martinelli. Whoever comes on for that individual isn't going to give you the same. We can't really trust Jorginho to come and do what Declan Rice does or what Partey does. Sometimes he has an excellent performance. Sometimes we see he get out-muscled and he gets outrun in that midfield. So things like that is what actually depends on the team's performance at a later stage, for example. But anyways, we'll move on to Modu. Modu, what did you think of the game?
Yeah, like before I talk about the game, I just feel like you can't use that as an excuse for Arsenal now, because if a manager signs 27 players and spend nearly $500 million, I think more than that, like because he bought Jorginho, he bought Trossard, these were like your signings. So to turn around and then say, oh, we can't trust these guys to come off the bench, I don't think that's a valid excuse, because you could have gone for other players, 100%. But you signed these players at the end of the day. If you say that the manager doesn't trust these players off the bench, then I'll say, okay, I understand that. But then he signed them though. So it's not like these are not his players. He signed 27 players. So I think, I don't think I think that's not an excuse. And also, you're talking about the experience thing. Sometimes experience doesn't come, because if you take too many devastating losses in pivotal stages, I think it can be detrimental. And the thing about this Arsenal team is one of the youngest teams in the league. And the Champions League, third youngest. And the Champions League, I'm telling you, you don't even have to face a big name. You could go face, I don't know, a Leipzig, a Dortmund, or you can face a team that you think is mid, and they can drown you.
Lens, for example, we lost to them.
This is what I'm saying. So for me, anyway, to take it back to the game, I watched the highlights. I think you lot did what you had to do, because Seville, listen, Champions League or not, that's a hard ground to go. So you lot did what you had to do.
Thank you. And I think Al is gone away.
No, I'm still around. Yeah, but
what did you think of the Arsenal performance against Sevilla?
I didn't watch the game, but for the excuses you're trying to make, I don't think they hold much grounds. There's a reason why you call it a team, and it shouldn't be based on 11 or 12 players. So to turn around and say Saka is out and Declan Rice, you've got other players. So that's why they have to come in and fill in those people their boots. So to try and make excuses for Arsenal, saying that, oh yeah, we lose such and such players. The Champions League is just a different league of its own. Basically,
Sene, can you check facts?
All the teams can surprise you.
Check
and Sevilla is not a small team. Sevilla is a very, very big team. So Arsenal, we are lucky, or I will say, congrats that Arsenal won. But you didn't expect it to be an easy game. And I personally
can I pose this question? Can I pose this question to you?
Yeah.
Why is it that when it comes to Arsenal, it's an excuse or this or that?
But that's what you just said.
You can't use it.
Because
let me finish. But when it comes to Man City, just 2 seconds. Let me just finish. Let me just finish the question. 2 seconds. When it came to Man City, we beat you twice this season already, and in both games, it was an excuse of this person wasn't playing, or we didn't have Rodri. It was all over the media. Rodri wasn't playing, so Man City was
that day. That day you did well. You know what? Sometimes we give credit to Arsenal, but for the Champions League, I think I spoke with Alka offline, and I gave credit to your team. You turned up that day.
I'm not doubting that fact. What I'm saying is, why is it an excuse for Arsenal, but for a team like Man City, who's world-class, 2 seconds, for a team like Man City, who's got two world-class players in every single position, you miss out Rodri, and the whole aspect of the game was Rodri wasn't playing. This is why Arsenal won that game, because whoever came in didn't do that job, and Man City didn't tick as well as they do when Rodri is playing. So why is it that with Arsenal it's an excuse, and then with Man City that's not the case?
I never said that. But for us against against Arsenal, fine. Pep Guardiola is the coach, and he decides who he wants to play, and because he's the manager. If I was in his shoes, I would have played Calvin Phillips in that position on that day. We needed that holding midfielder, who a natural holding midfielder like Calvin Phillips, to fill in those boots. But obviously, it was down to the manager to play whoever he trusted to be in that position. If John Stones was playing, maybe he could have also played John Stones in that position. But
Quickly, that's what Pams was just saying about Arsenal. If the manager, if you sign all these players, you don't trust like players like Phillips to come in if Brody is injured or is suspended. Then
But he
no, 1 minute.
yesterday.
That's a question that Pep Guardiola needs to answer, because you cannot be spending money
Exactly.
and
That's
you
what
don't
I
trust
meant.
players to bring in the bench.
That's what I meant, but yesterday he came in and played and he did well. Obviously, like I did mention, you need to save some of your big guns. Excuse me. You need to save some of your big guns for the Sunday derby game. We all know how derby games are like. So we can't go and use all our guns and all our energy on a team where
I think we'll leave that topic for that discussion later on.
We'll go.
Facts. How did you see the Arsenal game against Sevilla? We suppose Sevilla away is a very tough and hard place to go and play. What did you make of the performance, and how did you see the game?
Your game against Sevilla, I did not watch it, but I came through the highlights, and then I watched the extended highlights. Bravo to Arsenal, you did very well, considering the fact that you don't get the home support, considering the fact that you are away, considering the fact that you played with a very experienced team that plays in front of a lot of crowd. They are used to it. Big time ballers, experienced players in the team. And then you went out there, you did what you did. Bravo, you did very well. That out of all joke, but for the love I have for the game of football, I will not bring you down on this. That was your time. You did wonderful on that the other day.
Happy days. Thank you for your contribution. We appreciate that. I think it's safe to say we've gone around with the English teams in the Champions League this week. So we'll just move on to the Premier League games coming up this weekend.
Say, you know what? Sorry. Can you cut this one and then we'll do another one? I will do the predictions there and then we'll talk about the Manchester derby. If not, the video is going to be long. Sorry for talking.
All right, okay, no problem. Yeah, we'll move on to the Manchester derby then. We'll start with the Man United fans first. So, Modu, what's your take, and what do you see the outcome of the game being?
Yeah, so if you're gonna go on logic, and form, they should smash us. To be honest with you, Man City should smash us. But the thing is, why we love football? Football don't go on logic, and this is a derby, so anything can happen on the day. I've seen Ole's worst Man United side turn up at the Etihad and just stun them. And the thing about Man City, to this day, when they play us, it's more than just a football game. Like, they know, I feel like they still have that inferiority complex where they feel like they're still beneath us in a way. They still feel, I can see when they play us, no matter how bad we are. When we play City, they know that, listen, this is Man United that we're playing. So for me, listen, there's no point being scared. I think we're gonna smash them. That's what I think.
Wow.
But for me, I think we're
gonna smash them.
For me, as a Man United fan, are you not scared of coming against the likes of Alvarez, Doku, Grealish, and Haaland when you've got two central midfielders who are like 10 years outdated in terms of football styles?
Oh, you think they're outdated? Well, when you say it like that, yes, I'm scared because I'm just thinking about them running past us. Like, when you say it like that, their attack line should scare me. It just depends on, obviously, Varane has to play. If we go in the game with Maguire and Evans, God help us. But if we go in there with Varane and then we go in there with a normal left back, Reguilon, I think it's going to be quite a close game, and I think we could nick it. But also, they can smash us and they can nick it. So it's a thing where on the day, forget form, you win your first tackle, get in their faces, push them about, foul them, do what you have to do. That's what it comes down to. So for me, Man City, aside from Manchester United, Tottenham, and I'll say a little bit of Liverpool in the top 6, no other top 6 team really like beats Man City like that.
Yeah.
Aside from us. So I'm not really scared. Like, it is gonna be what it's gonna be. If we lose, I'm not gonna judge the team over it. But I also think we can beat them. That's what I think.
So Al still here? All right, we'll move on to Moses.
Yeah, I can talk, but I can't be on video if that's all right with you, though. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, but what happened for Man City? I think it will be a good game because it's a derby game and you never know which way it's gonna go. But the form that we're on at the moment, right? I don't think any of your left backs can stop Doku.
Jeremy.
I agree.
Hello?
Yeah, I agree.
Can't remember his name.
We lost you there for a moment. We lost you there for.
Al, your network is not steady.
Right back, if he was still playing, I would have said, yeah, he might have given Doku a bit of a issue. But right now, I can't see any of.
Who's this?
Not look sure.
Sorry, who's this?
Black guy.
Yeah.
Black guy.
Malacia.
He was a crystal.
Wan-Bissaka.
Oh, Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah. If he was playing, he would have been one person that can be of problem for Doku. But I can't see any of your right back or your left back that can stop Doku at the moment.
Is it fit?
So it will be a good game.
No.
But right now, with the form that Man United are playing, I think you're still lacking behind because your defense still hasn't gelled up. Your midfield, Amrabat is supposed to be playing in holding midfield. I hope he doesn't play because he's a pain to play with. You can tell when he's playing and the amount of energy he gives in that team. But with McTominay, I'm not that worried in midfield. So we're definitely gonna smash Man United. It's not if or but. Man City is gonna win that game.
Okay, thank you for your contribution. Is Fax still here or is he gone?
Fax is saying
I'm still here. Saying I'm still here.
Fax,
so what do
you see in the game on Sunday at Old Trafford? How do you see your team coming out of that game?
Okay, I tell you one. I'm gonna tell you few things. Man City without De Bruyne, without Mahrez, without Gundogan, I am not scared of them. Yeah? It's a matter of all the players that they have. They are chippy players for me. They are not that much experience when it comes to me. You understand? And then I am sad that my Spider-Man, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, is not going to be available. But apart from that, Varane is very experienced. You know, Lindelof also have been playing this competition for a long time. Doku is just a small boy, just like when Cristiano Ronaldo started playing football or any other. You know, what is that Sir Maxima? They just go bam, 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 bam without any result. So we are not scared. For me, these three prominent players are where my concern for Manchester City. De Bruyne, Mahrez, and then you get Gundogan, because they are the ones who make that play. They make the Man City football go. It's supposed to go. They made Haaland to be Haaland. You see, their absence set it all. You know, Haaland struggled before he come back to where he's supposed to be because of the absence of these three people. Bernardo Silva was good, but now he's also depreciated. So I'm not scared of City, you know. I'm not scared of them. My experience, despite I'm not in good form, but I would use my brain, my experience, and to make sure that I just dismantle them the way it's supposed to be. Put on these three people. Wow.
They're gunmen.
Well, the confidence is high.
All competition.
I just love your courage and your confidence, Fax. I love your courage and your confidence in defending the Man City team.
Well,
thank you very much.
After the game Sunday, make sure don't run away. Come down.
You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised because I am telling you, man, people, they're off.
Right.
I think his internet had enough.
We'll move on to Muz. What do you see in the game on Saturday at Old Trafford? How do you think the outcome would be?
I think it's going to be the same thing we normally see when City plays United in the past couple of years. Where are they playing? Are they playing at Etihad or
Old Trafford?
it doesn't really matter where it is these days anyway.
So them beating us at their ground and we beat them at their ground last season is normal.
Come on, man. We
No.
know how this
Answer my
goes,
question.
innit?
Which one is normal? Because
I
they beat
think
us
it's just
at their
normal.
ground, we
Wherever
beat
they
them
rock
at their
up,
ground,
City
and the
just
FA
rock
Cup
up.
final was tight.
It wasn't really tight.
They didn't smash us.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have to beat you like 4-5-0 every time to smash you. I remember
You're talking
watching a
like they
game where
beat
they
us
beat
every
you
time,
2-0.
boy.
I remember a 2-0 game where they literally just played. It's like it was boys against men. But anyways, yeah, it is a derby that I have to factor in. But if I was a betting man, which I'm not, I definitely would be putting my money on City just because United are all over the place right now. Right now, this is a United team that you don't know what their style of play is right now. You lot are struggling against your Sheffield United. You're struggling against Copenhagen. Your every game is a struggle. It's a fight for you guys just to get through to the 90 minutes. You know, I haven't seen a single game this season where I was like, raw, this is how I play. They're controlling the game. I know what every player's position is. It just seems to be very chaotic. And I think when you come against a team like City, a team that's so well drilled, they're very organized. Every player knows what they're doing. It's gonna be a long day. It's gonna be a long day. But passion for the badge and all of that could get United through. So, but then again, it might not. So I'm favouring City to get the job done here.
Happy. We'll move on to Alka then. Alka, what's your take on the game on Saturday at Old Trafford? I think you're on mute, Alka. We can't hear
you. How far is your mute button, bro?
Alkaline, you should put mute, you know.
We still can't hear you, Alka.
No.
Okay, cool.
Oh.
This is why I don't like iPhones.
To be fair to him, he's usually on a laptop, but today because I'm hosting, so he's using his phone.
Okay, you still on mute.
We still can't hear you.
Is the mic symbol?
Arsenal phone. Bahudara.
Yeah, we still can't hear you.
Maybe if you jump out and you jump back in.
Jump out, come back in.
Yeah, jump out, come back in.
I don't know if you want to.
Tony, what do you think? Why Alka comes back? What do you think of their game?
Like you guys said, a derby is a different environment. You know, one team can be on form and the other team can be out of form, and we've seen it before. Man United always turn up for Manchester derby. We've seen them beat City at home, and then City obviously won at the Etihad. So I think the team will turn up, but I'm scared for Manchester United if they play with Johnny Evans and Maguire, because it's going to be very hard for them to defend.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, it's going to be very hard.
Somebody call me, that's why.
It's going to be very hard for them to defend against the likes of Doku, Haaland, Alvarez, and Grealish. But I still think, even though that's the case, I think Man City will come out on top, but just narrowly.
What's funny for me is that you mentioned Johnny Evans and Maguire, but they have been the better players in these past couple of games. For me, United's worry is actually in that midfield. There just doesn't seem to be any midfield. So I don't know what you guys think, but I don't think Maguire would be the biggest thing to worry about. I think it's probably more Casemiro if he plays, or maybe I can't even say Scott McTominay, but that midfield there to me is just non-existent.
Yeah, but you don't look at it as the midfield and the defense as an individual. What you're looking at in the game is if you play those two, you can't play further up the pitch. You have to be compact and you have to be lower down the pitch. So it will affect how your midfield is going to operate.
I actually think that will suit United.
Sorry, 2 seconds.
I think what United should do is...
Sorry, 2 seconds. When you play with those two central defenders, it's going to give you a different outlet on how you build from the back and attack.
But this is the thing. United, to me, they have to know
you can't play with those two guys and then have to push on players to play one-on-one. Because as you saw when Arsenal played Man City, we were marking the midfielder one-on-one. And Man United can do that with those two central midfielders.
I would say this there. If United try to play City at their game here, they will get smashed 4-5-0. To me, United's best chance is to sit back and catch them on the counter. And I think actually Maguire playing might not be a bad thing. They will have to suffer a little bit, but just catch them on the counter with Rashford or Garnacho on the wings and just be quick on the transition. Otherwise, if you try to play City at their game, not many teams do that anyway. Only Brighton, they're the only team that's seen them do. So
I think Pep is smart enough to nullify that. He's going to play Kyle Walker and Ake on the fullbacks.
Just the last thing. I'm with Saini. Like, it's so nice, Evans and Maguire having great matches against Sheffield United. This is not Sheffield United, so we need to play our best defenders. I think Maguire should play, but then I think Varane, that's the guy. Varane is the guy right there. Varane, and then a left back, but not Evans and not Johnny. I'm not trying to hear Johnny Evans and Maguire. No chance.
Alka, what's your take on the game?
Yeah, I was gonna say, if this game was at Etihad, I'll probably say Man City will win like 3 or even 4 or even 4-1. But because of the game is at Old Trafford and City, there's times that I expect City to go there and win, and they end up going there and lose, or they lose 1-0, or maybe they lose 2-1, and all this. So because of it at OT. City win, but I'm not gonna expect them to dominate like the way they normally dominate Man U at home and all this. So, and it's a derby, form is out of window. Derbies can be anything. Man U can even win with all the way they're playing right now. They can even beat City at home, But I'm still gonna go City for favorite. Are we gonna do the prediction now, or are we doing it later?
We'll leave it for later. Then.
Yeah. So I'm expecting City to win at least, right
what
now.
What I'm gonna do now is for each fan, I'm going to pose a question for your team, and I just need a quick answer to.
Yeah, Sandy, before you do that, don't forget we need to cut this video and then do a combined 11 quickly, maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes for that one. That's it.
Yeah, no problem. But what I'll do is we obviously don't have a Tottenham fan here, but we'll just ask anyone in a panel to take the question. In terms of Tottenham, do you think they can go all the way with Ange, or do you think they'll drop off at some point in the season?
Is that my question?
Anyone can take it.
Yeah, I'll start.
Go on.
For me, like I said, I said weeks ago, even though they've been playing well, whatever the case is, it's 9 games in, and I'm not saying Tottenham as title contenders. I'm seeing them as top 4 contenders, not title contenders. So I'm still sticking by that until they prove me wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
for me,
oh,
sorry, go on.
Yeah, go
okay.
on.
Now for me, they will drop off. Every team will drop off, but I think I keep going back to it. The 1 game a week, I think will favor them, and I think they will definitely get top 4, and they could challenge as well. So yeah.
See, I've seen professionals say this. This 1 game a week is very nice in terms of resting your players and whatnot, but we saw
players don't have momentum.
We saw Arsenal do it last season, and they suffered. The games that were expected of them to win, they dropped out. But anyways, we'll move on. For the Man United fans, does Ten Hag need more time and more signings, or would you say you've given him enough players and money and you can't see any style of play, or is it the injuries that's costing him?
Now, 100%, he needs more time and signings. When you got Arteta have it that's signed 27 players and he's into his fourth, is he into his 4th year? I don't even know. Into his 4th year. Ten Hag's been in charge of Man United for 15 months. He's already won a trophy. So for me, 100% he needs more time. We still got Mourinho players there. Unless there's a full 11 and some bench players of Ten Hag, I can't judge him. So 100%.
Does he need more signings though? Because he's spent a lot.
100%. 100% he needs more signing. But the thing is, when people say United spend a lot, United better spend that, because we make just on I think stadium, like just the fans coming in the stadium alone, we make 500 million of that in a year. So of course we're supposed to spend, and he needs to spend at least $1.5 billion, because this club, he's not dealing with just the now, he's dealing with all those years of failure. So he needs his whole team. I'm talking 25, 26 players. Yeah, then I can judge him. So it's a long project for me. Yeah.
Yeah, happy days.
For me,
this is just for like Man United fans. I'll give you your one. Al, are you still there? Okay.
I think he's gone.
Yes, no, I can hear you. I can hear you.
All right, Al, I'll pause you. I'll give you a question, and my question is just for you and you only. Is Man City on the decline, or are they too comfortable, or is it just lack of hunger now after they've won it all?
No, what happened is, when you lose, what happened is we lost some very good experienced players. Yep. And some of our players, we are getting old. So it's important that we bring in some young players. And, when you bring in young players, it takes a bit of time for them to gel in and then to adopt the system and understand each other. Because then again, experience also kicks in. When you have the likes of Gundogan, Riyad Mahrez, and let's say De Bruyne, these players we are getting to their 30s. So it is important that we bring in younger players, so that we don't expect to bring in an 18, 19, 20-year-old. Not all 20-year-olds are mature like Jude Bellingham. You understand what I mean? Yeah. So it is important we bring in some young players, plus the ones that we're going to blend in, promote from the academy. Look at the like of Oscar Bob. He's a very good player, but obviously he needs experience. So that there are certain things whereby that's when experience kicks in. So yes, the talent will be there, but the experience also does help a lot. So the team, I don't think the team is on a decline. Yes, we've brought in a very experienced holding midfielder from Chelsea.
Yeah.
But he can teach the boys, or when we are under pressure, then he can help to calm the nerves of the team. And that's what we are missing, because we have the likes of Gundogan. He could calm the nerves of the team. Well, 2 years ago against Aston Villa, last day of the season, when Gundogan came in, you can see the experience has kicked in when he banged in those 2 goals. So experience, that's what we are lacking in our team, experienced players. And with these young boys, so some of them have started adapting to the Manchester style of playing. We have some leaders like Ruben Diaz. Yes, he's in his 20s, but he is a leader. So that leadership, that's what we are lacking in the team. Gundogan was a natural leader on the pitch. De Bruyne is another leader, but he's injured. But we cannot just rely on De Bruyne as a team, because he's in his 30s as well. So, and looking at the quality that De Bruyne have, the closest person to David Beckham in football is De Bruyne. The guy can stand anywhere on the pitch and send you the ball, and if he wants it on your feet or right next to your head, it will get there. Tell me another player apart from Beckham and De Bruyne who can set goals like them too. No, I don't know. So this is what we are lacking. And you don't expect the teams, the way we were having easy rides, teams do study us. Like you rightly mentioned a few minutes ago, that if you look at football, the things that are at the disposal of managers, the technology was not there. So other teams will use that technology to also learn from our team and see how best they are going to stop our attack. So obviously we always have to be on the ball. So you don't expect us the same attack and the same approach we had last year to have the same approach again. We need to change our formation and be an element of surprise to other teams for us to continue winning the treble.
Thank you, Al. We appreciate your point of view with that question, and I look forward to seeing how Man City progresses in the business end of the season. So the next question is for you, Alka, and I pose to you: does Arsenal have the missing piece in Declan Rice, or do we need more winning pieces to the team to get to that point where we're on terms or on the same level with Man City, on par with Man City?
You know what? Last time, Pams did mention that he thinks we're missing Granit Xhaka. I think I have to agree with him now, because when I look at our games, Kai Havertz was the one that we signed to replace. Although Rice can play that position, but also Rice can only play that position if Partey is fit. But right now, we don't know what Partey's situation is. 1 minute is fit, 1 minute they said he didn't travel with squad, whatever the case is. So if that's the case, we cannot play Rice 8. We can play Rice 8 like the other day. We play Rice 8, and he did very well. And he's learning that role. He's doing well. But my worry is we play Rice 8, then you have to play Jorginho 6. When you play better sides, and Jorginho is a player that doesn't have the legs, he cannot play every game because he doesn't have the legs anymore. He's aging. So you cannot play Jorginho every game. He'll become tired. And when we become tired, he's gonna start making mistakes. That's my worry. But if we can get another 8, let's say in January, who can play that Xhaka's role, then I'm happy for Rice to play that 6. Or give me another DM that will play good, like Partey or somebody like that, and then push Rice forward. I think Rice can play that role perfectly. I think we're missing that link on the right hand side. I think people are criticizing even Odegaard. I think Odegaard is missing that run behind what Xhaka used to do. So I think we need to fix that. We need to get another 8, and then get it right. That's what we're missing right now in the team.
Yeah, for me,
Partey's not staying fit, whatever the case is.
Yeah, for me, I think we need we definitely need a 6 to replace Partey, because we've seen how Pep Guardiola does it. Once he knows you're on a decline or you're getting injured so often, he brings in someone to take over from you. We saw him do it with Fernandinho and Rodri. So we need another 6. If that is indeed the case, that Declan Rice isn't taking over from Partey, I think we need a right midfielder who's going to come in for Saka, because when Saka's not available, the drop-off is far too big. And then we need a gunman who's going to get us a minimum of 20 goals per season. I love Jesus. He's a street player. I think he's class. Love him to bits. But he just doesn't get us that many goals that we need. We need someone when we're losing or when the going gets tough, you come out of nowhere, bang, 2 goals, we win the game. That's what we're lacking. And in that 8, we definitely need either Kai Havertz to kick on, or we need Vieira to kick on, or we just need to bring in someone who's ready right now and who can actually come in and fit like a glove, like Declan Rice has done for the team. And another thing is we've got Timber, who's injured. When he comes back, he adds to the defense, which will solidify our defense even more, which will make it even harder for teams to score against us. And once we've identified and addressed those positions, I think
there's rumors that Timber will be back by end of January, mid-January towards end of January. So that's a good news.
Yeah, it's rumors at the moment. It's nothing factual, so we can't rely on that. Until when we see him come in and playing, we don't know how he's gonna come into the team and kick on. So we can't really rely on that either. So we just have to wait and see what becomes of that, really. But yeah, I had another question for Liverpool and Chelsea fans, but as we've seen, Moses gone, so I'll just open it to the floor. But what do you guys think? Do you think Liverpool is back? Or is it just that they haven't played anyone big yet? I know they've played Man United. They've played Tottenham, actually. They've lost, which was unforgiving of the referees' mistakes. And
but for me, Liverpool, the way people are talking Liverpool, like the way the people are talking about Arsenal, I don't look at Liverpool the same. I don't think Liverpool are that team that people are bagging about. Like they score goals, but again, the performance is not there. Not much. I don't see Liverpool's performance that standard performance like they used to be years ago. But they're still winning. That's the good thing about it. They're winning. They're getting results. So there's nothing much. But they'll be in the title race anyway. That's all I can say.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think, like, look, Liverpool, yeah, any team that can beat 95% of the teams in the league is in a title race. Liverpool can beat 95% of teams in the league. So for me, like I said, they got about 4 or 5 attackers that can score goals. And this is the difference for me. So, like, when people even say Liverpool and Arsenal, you just mentioned Jesus there. Liverpool have about 3-4 players that can score goals on a regular, and I think that's just going to edge them into the title race. And because they sorted out their midfield now, they can rest players. Like today, I think the Japanese captain scored. Endo, he played, and Jones played. So they're actually resting players. So Liverpool are a threat. They're a big threat in my eyes.
Happy. So my question for Chelsea fans is, bear in mind they've got big players who are injured at the moment, and bear in mind they've spent £1 billion on transfers recently. What is the target for this Chelsea team, and is it achievable? In your own sense, what would you say their target should be? Do you think they should be challenging for top 4, top 8, or challenging for the title? And is it achievable?
I think they should try to get into the top half of the table this season. No offense to Chelsea fans, but I think they should get top 10 first.
Yeah, but bear in mind they've got big players who are injured, like Nkunku.
Nkunku, yep, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. But the thing is, look, they're playing Brentford.
Come back as well. So with all of that and how much they've spent, do you think that's achievable? And should they aim for a higher? This is why I wanted Mus to be here, but he's obviously gone. But what do you think about that?
They can aim as high as they want, but the thing is, the truth is, they're still fragile. This is the thing, because there's too many young players in there, and he's a new coach, so they're gonna have to learn each other. So for me, Chelsea are playing Brentford on Saturday. Both of you, like, would you confidently say that Chelsea will beat them?
No, I wouldn't at the moment. I know
this is the thing.
They play well against Arsenal, but
based on their recent games, I think it'll be a closer game than you guys anticipate. It could go either way. That's what I think.
Chelsea should win. Like, I still, like, if you put a gun to my head, I'll say Chelsea, but I can't guarantee it. This is the thing. So for me, Chelsea need to focus on getting into the top 10 first. This season is a free ride for Poch, in my opinion, but they are playing better lately, though. So I mean, they're just a mess. They messed up so much in the transfer market. It's gonna take a while before they get back up there, in my eyes.
But for me, Chelsea, like I said in the summer, I was talking to. I know you guys know. Say anyway, I was talking to say. I was saying that look, this season he was saying, oh, Chelsea will make top 4 and all this. I'm like, bro, Chelsea, they're not gonna make top 4. He feels like I've been saying that because I support Arsenal or something. No, I've just been realistic. Chelsea, they need to like focus on the manager, give the manager time. The manager just came in, give the manager time. They got new players. Let the manager work on the players that he have. And then no pressure. I don't expect Chelsea to finish 6 or 7 or even 8. Whenever they finish, as long as they don't get relegated, that's it. It's a bonus. The manager can work on the players they have this summer or this season, and the next summer they go in pre-season. The manager can set up everything that he needs to set up. Then he can bring in more players that he wants, and then their season will. For me, Chelsea's season will start next season. This season is just a one-off. They'll win today, next day and they'll draw. The following game, maybe they lose, or the following game, they put a good performance. The following game, they don't put good performance. So for me, this is me personally, as an Arsenal fan, I'm not expecting anything. Even if they lose, I'm not going to criticize because I don't expect much this season from them. That's all I got to say. But if the manager get it right, they will be very dangerous, especially next season.
So, we'll just turn to the comments quickly. We've got one from Ibrahim Abojang. He's asked which tough battle Man United is going to be an easy game. What do you make of that, Modu?
So what who does he support? Okay, Chine. All right, cool. So he's talking about City, yeah? He's talking about the City game.
The City game,
The game.
Well, all right, cool. Well, listen, I don't expect anything more from Chine. Like, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, he does have a point as well. He does have a point. But listen, Chine, we're in a bad moment, 100%, yeah? But there's one thing I always say about Man United. No matter how bad we're playing, we just have this gene. I'm not saying it's still there, but sometimes we find it, and it's that Fergie gene. Sometimes we always find a way to win. And that's my only hope. I wouldn't lie to you. That's my only hope right now, that we find somehow some magic, some miracle. Maybe Sir Bobby Charlton, may he rest in peace, can send us some good luck this weekend, because that's what I'm relying on. I'll be honest.
Al, what do you make of that coming from China?
He's absolutely right. It's not about Man United. It's just the name and the history that is there. It's not the Man United we used to know.
You're saying they're stuck in the past, then?
They're stuck in the past. That team needs to get rid of Bruno Fernandes. Even the game again, I wish, because it's like the guy is just untouchable. Yes, he is one of the most creative players in that team, but he slows their play down a lot.
Yeah.
And right now, with this Sancho issue, I think the team, some of them will not give all their best to Ten Hag. That's my own observation. I don't think the players are giving
my biggest surprise for this past summer transfer window is, why did teams like Arsenal and Man United, who need a creative midfielder, not go in for Madders? Why did we not do that between us and Man United? I think he would have been a great signing for people.
Yeah, for Man United, obviously, I know they've been complaining a lot with their owners, and they didn't know their fate, because it was 1 minute I'm gonna sell the club, tomorrow next minute, oh, we are not selling, the other minute, oh, I want to make a 10 billion from the club. And right now they will have to feel the pain of the Glazer family. Obviously, if the team had gone to the share with all the proposal he had in place, watch out for Man United in the January transfer market. Then they can dig in their pocket. I was reading an article today. They've reduced their salary cap by 56 million. Yet still they're complaining of having some losses. So Man United is just the name that is there and the brand, because Man United is a brand. But aside from that, it's not the Man United we need to know.
Yeah. So Modu, what do you think about the Maddison situation? Like, should you have gone for him as a creative midfielder in your team? Would he have worked with what you got, or what do you think?
Yeah, for me, if you ask me, I would have signed. I rather would have signed Maddison instead of Mount, because for me, like Al said, Bruno, if it's down to me, next summer he's gone. Because what it is, that the way that Ten Hag plays is possession based, but not totally possession like Pep. But we have to keep the ball. But the thing about Bruno is he's so stuck in the Oli way. Is like, as soon as he gets the half turn and looks up, he's playing the ball. And it's a risk, because if a team catches you on the counter, especially in the Premier League, 8 times out of 10, you're going to pay for it. So for me, Maddison, I don't know why teams didn't go for him. Maybe because he got relegated. So everyone was thinking, maybe because his injuries as well. But Tottenham picked up a dime there. So I don't really know why teams didn't go for him. I'll be honest.
So Alka, same question for you. We lost Granit Xhaka in the summer. We went for Kai Havertz instead, who we've seen at Chelsea didn't pull any trees or live up to half the player he was at Leverkusen. So what's your take on Maddison? Should we have gone in for him, or are you willing to be patient with Kai Havertz?
Remember, we wanted Maddison when he was at Leicester before we signed Odegaard. But at the time, Leicester wanted 60 to 70 million. So Arsenal were not ready at the time to spend that kind of money. So they end up going for Odegaard, which was 35 million. So they went for the cheaper option at the time. But we wanted Maddison before Odegaard. Yes, I think I would love to have Maddison, and he went for very cheap, for like 40-something million, very cheaper than Harvard. I don't understand why I would see the Harvard deal, Maddison deal, and you go for Harvard. I'm still not understanding this Harvard signing, I think Arteta got that one wrong, man. We should have gone for Maddison, cheaper.
Come on, be patient with him, man. Give him a bit of time. You keep saying that Man United should give time to their manager and all that. Give Harvard some time. Yes.
No. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying I'm not giving him time. I'm giving him time. I said I'll give him time.
Fans must learn to be patient with him.
No. I said
he's a very talented player. Maybe
I'm giving him time, but I don't understand the signing still. But I'll give him. I'm not criticizing the player or anything. I'm giving the player time. Yes, but I don't understand why the manager went for that option. That's my point.
All right. I think we'll conclude the stream there for tonight. Thank you, obviously, for participating today and all your opinions.
But saying we're gonna do the combined 11 with another video.
You know what, Alka? I'll be honest, yeah. You know I'm representing Man United. The only player I'm putting in the City team is Bruno Fernandes. So let's not even bother. I'm just keeping it 100. The only Man United player that gets into the City team is Bruno Fernandes, and that's because, like, City are missing that player right now because he can actually play passes like De Bruyne. So if you guys want to save time, it's only Bruno Fernandes. I'll be
okay. Then that's fine. Then I think I don't know Bruno Fernandes will gain.
Nah, he will cook there. He will cook. I'm telling you.
Okay, but anyway, before you go, we need to do the prediction. We haven't done the prediction yet. Full the weekend prediction. Let's do that quickly and then we go.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So we start off at Tottenham. I think Tottenham are playing Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace away.
Yeah.
What is your take on that game, Modu? What do you think is going to finish?
I think 1-0 Tottenham. Crystal Palace, Eze and Olise are still out, so
yeah.
I think Tottenham will win 1-0.
I'll go for 1-1 because I know got injuries, but it's a Palace. Selhurst Palace is a tough place, and Palace just lost 4-0. I don't think they will be happy. They will take another defeat at home. So I'm going for, and it's a London derby. I'll go for a draw 1-1.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a goalless draw 0-0. We'll go to the Chelsea and Brentford early kickoff, which is at 12:30.
Yeah, Brentford. I'll go for. Where is it? Is it at Chelsea?
Yeah, it's at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah, Chelsea haven't won at home. They remember they lost 3 games, I think, and they drew with Arsenal. So their home record is not that great. So I'll probably have to go for 2-2 for that one. If they win, I will not be surprised. But I'll go for 2.
Yeah, I'll go for Chelsea just about because I think they were so disappointed with the last game. I think they will just nick it. I'll say Chelsea 1 or 2-0.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for Chelsea 2-1. I think Chelsea will bounce back with that one. What about the Arsenal Sheffield United? It's at the Emirates.
Right. Have you not seen? I know it doesn't mean nothing, but have you not seen Sheffield's injury? Sheffield got 10 players out.
Yeah, it's mad. It's mad. It's
10
mad.
players out.
Yeah,
I was gonna predict 3-0 to Arsenal, even if they got those players. But now those players are out, bro. I have to be. Let me just give it a bar. I know it's gonna be tough, but I think if Arsenal score early, that's it. The game is gonna go. The goals will be probably many. So I'll go for 3-0 anyway. 3-0. But I think it's gonna be more than 3-0.
Modu?
Yeah, I think I'll go for Arsenal to win as well. But I don't think it's gonna be as easy as you think, Alka, because
no, I'm not saying it's easy.
Like when they played against City, Tottenham and us, trust me, they are very organized. That's one thing you see. But I think Arsenal will create chances. They will score goals. I'll say 3-0 Arsenal as well, to be fair.
I'm gonna go 2-0 Arsenal. I think it's gonna be a very hard game because the players who are coming in, they're gonna want to prove something to the manager and earn a starting spot in the lineup. So I'm gonna go 2-0 Arsenal. What about the Bournemouth Burnley team match?
Where is that? In Burnley?
That's in Bournemouth, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for Bournemouth, boy. This boy Burnley, this guy company, he needs to be careful, man. I'm gonna go, even though Bournemouth, they're not even great, but I'll give it to Bournemouth. Home side, 1-0 to Bournemouth.
I'll go 1-1. 1-1.
I funnily think this is gonna be Burnley's first win, so I'm gonna go 1-0 Burnley with that one. And then we move on to Newcastle Wolves. Is that Molineux, mate?
Why? Newcastle needs to bounce back after the Champions League defeat. And then Wolves, they're in great form as well. They're doing well. You know? So this game is a tricky, but I'll go for a draw, 1-1.
Yeah, it's tricky, man. I'll say I think this might be the time where Newcastle might face a little bit of bad form, man. I'll go for Wolves 2-1.
I was gonna give the ball.
I think Wolves is gonna win because they had a tough game during the week, and I think Wolves is gonna win maybe 2-1 or 1-0. And we'll go to the West Ham Everton game on Sunday. It's at West Ham Olympic Stadium. What do you think, Modu?
I think West Ham 3-1. Everton are in trouble.
Oh boy, I was gonna say 3-1, man.
Yeah, 3-1.
Anyway, I'll go for 2-0. 2-0 to West Ham.
I was gonna go for 2-0 to West Ham, but I'll go for 2-1 West Ham. Villa Luton. We've seen Villa's been on really good form, and Luton.
Where is that? Is it Villa Park?
Yeah,
Villa Park. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going for 3-0 Villa.
I'll go for 4-1 Villa. You know, they won 4-1 tonight as well. They beat AZ Alkmaar, so they're on good form.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 3-1 Villa, and then we have Brighton Fulham at Brighton, the Amex Stadium.
For me, it's Brighton. I'll go for 2-1 Brighton.
I'll say 2-2 because Fulham they didn't play bad against Tottenham, and Brighton have some injuries, so I'll say 2-2.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 1-0 Brighton for that one, and then we have Liverpool, Nottingham Forest at the Anfield Stadium. What do we see that coming out as?
Liverpool. I'll say Liverpool 3-1.
Where is it? Is it at Forest?
Anfield.
No, it's at Anfield.
Oh, if it's at Forest, I'll probably give Forest something. But it's at Anfield now. I think Liverpool win 2-1.
I think Liverpool are gonna win 3-0, if I'm honest. And then the last game of the weekend, obviously, Man United, Man City.
Manchester derby.
Yeah, so I'll say 2-1 Man United. Last minute winner.
Okay.
Whoa, my guy is confident. 2-1, last minute winner. I'll go for 3-1 to Man City. I think United will score, but City will score 3.
I'm going for 4-1.
But City, Man, you can still win anyway, but there's a chance.
I'm going for 4-1 smashing by Man City.
4-1.
Yeah. They need to basically go into hiding for another week because we need to wake up.
But you say 4-1, yeah. If they lose, they're not gonna come on Sunday, you know. After, Sunday we got our podcast, 7 o'clock. I don't know, 8 o'clock. They ain't gonna turn up, man. They ain't gonna turn up.
Yeah, anyways,
maybe Palms will come, but the rest they're not gonna turn up.
Happy. Anyways, we'll end the stream.
Yeah, before we go, guys, please make sure you subscribe, like, and comment and share our video. We're here for you guys. So until Sunday, we'll be back. Sunday podcast 7 or 8 o'clock. So if you haven't put your notification, put your notification on.
Yep.
Take care, guys.
Thank you so much for having us, man.
Peace, man. Thank you for having me.
Take care, guys.